Have you ever wondered what would happen if the world lost all of its oxygen for just 5 seconds? It sounds like a tiny little blip in time, right? But the consequences, they're so catastrophic, they're almost impossible to wrap your head around. So let's dive in and see just how wild things would get. So let's set the stage. For 5 seconds, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, every single molecule of O2 on planet Earth just vanishes. What does that do to our world, and more importantly, what does that do to us? Now, I know what you're thinking, because it's the first thing I thought too. Hey, I can hold my breath for 5 seconds, no big deal. And you know what? You're absolutely right. But here's the crazy part. Breathing is literally the one thing you wouldn't have to worry about. Yeah, seriously. Your body wouldn't even have time to register the lack of oxygen in your lungs. Those 5 seconds would fly by so fast, your respiratory system would just keep chugging along like nothing happened. But everything else would notice. You see, our atmosphere is mostly nitrogen. Oxygen only makes up about 21%. But that 21%, well, it's pretty much the most important gas for life as we know it. And if you just, poof, take it away, the world we know completely falls apart. So let's start small. Or actually, not so small. Let's start with the most immediate effects. What would happen directly to you, to the human body in this crazy oxygen-free world? And spoiler alert, it's not pretty. First things first, if you're outside, you get an immediate, and I mean instantaneous, severe sunburn. We're talking crispy. Forget SPF 50, there's no sunscreen in the universe that could save you from the raw, unfiltered power of the sun hitting an unprotected Earth. Why? Because our planet's built-in sunblock, the ozone layer, is literally made of oxygen, O3 to be exact. So you take away the oxygen, you take away the shield. Just like that. The Earth is completely exposed and our skin would just get torched by UV radiation. Okay, so a planetary scale sunburn isn't bad enough for you? Well, at the exact same moment you're getting fried, your inner ears would rupture. I'm talking a sudden, violent, and deafening pop for every single person on the planet. So what's up with that? Well, losing oxygen means we lose 21% of our air pressure in a blink. To our bodies, that would feel like you're standing at sea level 1 second, and the next you've been dropped 2,000 meters. That's over a mile. Our ears just can't handle that kind of instant change, and bam, they'd explode. So our bodies are in really bad shape, but believe it or not, the chaos is just getting started. The world that we've built, the very foundation of our entire civilization, is about to suffer an even more spectacular fate. Get ready for this one. Oxygen is the critical binding agent in concrete. It's the glue. Without it, the chemical bonds holding our cities together would just fail. Not slowly, not over time, but instantly. Every single concrete structure would explode into a fine powder. Just try to picture it. The massive Hoover Dam, gone. The ancient Pantheon in Rome, a cloud of dust. Every skyscraper, every bridge, every highway, every single concrete building on Earth would disintegrate at the exact same time. The scale of that collapse is it's mind-breaking. And while the world is turning to dust, things get even weirder. Any piece of raw, untreated metal would immediately weld itself to any other piece of untreated metal it happened to be touching. No heat, no tools, just instant fusion. The only reason this doesn't happen right now is because of a super thin, invisible layer of oxidation that forms on metals. That's it. It's the only thing keeping your keys from becoming a single metal blob in your pocket. You get rid of the oxygen, you get rid of that barrier, and metals just stick permanently. Okay, so our bodies are scorched, our cities are dust, and metals are fusing together. What else could possibly go wrong? Well, how about we lose one of the most fundamental chemical reactions that powers our world? Remember the fire triangle from science class? You need 3 things: heat, fuel, and oxygen. You take away any one of them and you can't have a fire. So without oxygen, all combustion, everywhere on the planet, just stops. Full stop. You can guess what that means for us. That internal combustion engine in your car, it's now a very heavy paperweight. Every single plane in the sky, powered by roaring jet engines. They stop being planes and start being very, very large rocks. Millions of cars would just coast to a silent stop, and the skies would clear out in the most terrifying way you can imagine. And speaking of the sky, it wouldn't just be empty of planes. It would be completely black.
Yep, even in the middle of a sunny afternoon, the sky itself would turn into a dark, empty void.
You see, our sky is blue because sunlight scatters off all the little particles in our atmosphere, especially nitrogen and oxygen. If you suddenly rip away a fifth of those particles, there's just not enough stuff left for the light to bounce off of. The sun would still be a bright spot, but the sky around it would be as black as deep space. We've seen what happens to us, to our cities, to our technology, and to our sky. But the final consequence, this is the big one. This is the most fundamental, most catastrophic effect of all. It goes right down to the very ground beneath our feet. Take a look at this number, 45%. Let that sink in for a second. What could this possibly be? Because I guarantee you it's the most important and the most terrifying number in this entire scenario. That's right, almost half of the Earth's crust, the rock, the dirt, the ground we stand on, is made of oxygen. It's bound up in all the minerals, and it's basically the structural backbone of the planet's surface.
So what happens if you take away that oxygen? The Earth's crust loses nearly half its mass and all of its structural integrity. It would simply crumble and collapse. The ground itself would fall apart, sending you and everyone and everything else on the planet into a terrifying freefall toward the Earth's core. And then, just like that, after 5 seconds of pure apocalypse, the oxygen snaps back into existence. But it would return to a world of dust and darkness, of fused metal and crumbling ground. Kind of makes you think differently about that next deep breath, doesn't it?